Welcome back to the Across the River podcast. I'm Dylan Schall. I'm here with Ben Gans and Jacob Kaplan. And after our very interesting and entertaining and very eventful podcast that we had with Ian Eagle last week, we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled program this week. Although I don't know how regularly scheduled this is because we haven't really done an NFL week recap before.
Gosh,
This
the
is
winners and losers takes me back.
No, we're not going to go in that direction though. We're just going to have some talking points to go through, hopefully some spirited debate. Then we'll go into our NFL picks, which is what you guys are really here for. But hopefully you guys can stay along the way. Again, Dylan Schall here with Ben Gans and Jacob Kaplan. And let's start off by talking about what happened on Thursday night last week. The Buffalo Bills were able to take down the Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium, but that was hardly the story. Tua Tagovailoa suffered his third concussion in three seasons, which likely will call to the end for his. It does call to
I
the
would say
end.
season.
So we'll see where it goes.
Probably for sure.
It calls to the end for the next 4 weeks up until the bye week or 1 week
Skylar
after the bye
Thompson
week.
season. Dylan, let me ask you a question first. You're the Dolphins fan, okay?
Yeah.
Do you think they should play him at all for the rest of the season or go with Skylar?
So, in football terms, straight football, he will be healthy again after the IR. He will be able to play. Now, as to what they should do responsibly as an organization, they should listen to his doctor. His doctor and him are the only people that are going to know the situation. That, like, I, as a media personality, cannot tell you whether or not he should play
100%.
because I have no inside scoop. I saw what happened. It was scary. They're treating it. I trust the organization to make the right decision on it.
He's going to beg for them. He's going to beg for them to continue playing him.
Well,
He's got plans of retiring.
He has no plans
I think
of
the
retiring.
Dolphins have some of the worst doctors, like just from like events in the past, at least. Because I mean, we saw
Why are we going? Why are we
Tua.
baiting? Why are we going into doctors now?
But
No, but
that's
it's
exactly
an-
what
it's
it's about, though. It's all
but it's an
Yeah, I
important
know, but I'm not
conversation
trying
now,
to. I'm not trying to rank team doctors now.
I'm not ranking them, but it's still that's the main thing.
I mean,
with
in a way,
Tua.
you are though, because what you're saying is what happened
Well,
with
I'm
Tua.
saying
No, but
their
what you're saying.
history with it is not the best.
Okay,
That's what
but
I'm saying.
that wasn't the Dolphins. That was the independent concussion checker that didn't flag it
I
the
mean,
last
still
time.
they could have.
If we want to go
They
into
could've taken
team,
it
hold on. If
themselves.
we want to go into team doctors, I'll just rank the Chargers last because the team doctor punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung.
Yeah, and the Commanders didn't see the cancer in Trent Williams when that happened. So that was that.
I'm saying though, I think that Tua should actually take a step back and talk about it with his family.
Well, of course he's going to do that.
Well, his family might say quit, but he's not going to listen.
But here's my take here, and you can agree, you could disagree. My take isn't that important, but just what I believe in this situation is that he's obviously going to have these talks with his family. He's had these talks with his family. His dad today talked to reporters, said he's coming back. Galu said that Tua is going to be coming back. And his wife, when they've gone through this, I don't think they were married at the time, but they are now. When they had this very important thing happen two years ago, they've had this discussion. Tua is very committed to playing football. Football is his life. And if you take that away from him, we don't know what is the life he's going to have. So it's hard for us as people to say he needs to retire because we don't know what it's like to be in his shoes in this situation.
But I still think you're gonna get reactions saying, "Oh, he should do this, he should do that, X, Y, Z."
And that's
even though the concussions have been pretty bad, you could just legit can tell him as soon as his IR stint ends, put the Guardian cap on, you'll be fine.
That's what I was about to ask. Do you guys think he should start wearing the Guardian cap?
I think he should put the Guardian cap on. And I also think he should sit for a little bit longer than his IR stint. I don't think
I have a question on top of that.
I don't think he should come back right away.
Should all NFL QBs start wearing the Guardian cap?
No. I don't think that's necessary.
No.
I don't think
you
that's
think it could get to a point where it's necessary.
I
wouldn't be surprised if they make the Guardian cap mandated. I would not.
So I wouldn't. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I wouldn't be surprised if every player has to wear the Guardian cap, but I also think that the reason that that's not mandated yet is because they're not 100% confident in its technology. So once that gets confirmed, I think that we will be seeing a preventative measure where everyone does have to wear a Guardian cap in whatever vicinity that it is. I don't know if it's going to be exactly what we see right now. But
they're already trying to crack down on the concussions with the kickoff rules and stuff. They're starting. Yeah.
But what does this
like
mean? What does this mean for Miami going forward now?
That's
just
what I want to touch on.
From a football standpoint, you have the next 3 games or the 4 games that they're playing without Tua that are confirmed to be without Tua are against winnable teams. So if you can pick up 2 of those games, go into the bye week 3-3, or after the bye week, say you pick up 2 of them, you're 3-4 going into the game. Tua comes back, and you still serve a chance to get a wild card spot. So Skylar Thompson, Snoop Huntley are not a great quarterback room, but with the talent they have around them, they can get a win against New England. They can get a win agast Tennessee.
Hey, New England hasn't been bad though. So
no, they haven't, but we'll see where it goes from there.
It would be crazy to see Tua come right back from IR in his first game against the Bills.
It wouldn't be though. It'd be Arizona. Arizona would be his first game back. He wouldn't play.
Oh, I didn't see that last game. My bad.
Yeah.
There's no sign he plays right away.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if he does. I don't think he should. I think he should take. I mean, it depends where the team is. Like, truly, it does. Like, if you're in a spot where you need him to step in, he's gonna want to step in. If he's medically cleared to step in, he will.
But I think Mike McDaniel is gonna be thinking about Tua as a person first, instead of even this weekend.
By that point, they're gonna know what he's gonna do. So
many injuries though.
Yeah, but we'll move on. Yeah, a lot of injuries. We'll move on from there.
And we're only in week 2.
Yeah, wide receiver injury crisis. Deebo Samuel, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown now picking up an injury. He might play. He might not.
Brown.
AJ Brown.
Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson, I believe, is going to play. Jamar Chase is a little banged up though.
T. Higgins.
All these guys are a little bit injured or they're fully out. Dangerous sport. But let's talk about some just NFL football now. Straight up what we saw last week.
I believe Aiden Hutchinson is a top 10 defensive player in the NFL.
So you've scooted from number 1 to 5 to 10.
Okay.
So now you're making it believable. Okay. I don't hate that.
Next is going to be top 50.
I think out of all the defensive players this past weekend, I think he looked the best out of anyone on the defensive side of the ball this past weekend.
Okay. So one game is going to put him in the top.
Well,
up there. But
I think he looked the best.
I would still say Will Anderson had a better week. Will Anderson had so many pressures.
He had 4.5 sacks. Dude,
but
he almost hit the sack record.
But the Texans had a pressure every snap. Every drop back that the Texans got to Caleb Williams. And Will Anderson,
the Bears' offensive line is not that good, though.
Darnell Wright is a completely competent left tackle.
But you're looking at that offensive line compared to the Buccaneers' offensive line, who have one of the best offensive linemen in the league.
I'm not saying Hutch didn't have a good game. I'm just saying that I thought Will Anderson's performance was a little bit more impressive.
I think Hutch's was better, and I think that he can win Defensive Player of the Year this year.
No, I don't think. I
think he can.
He can.
That's Michigan bias right
listen,
there.
It's not even Michigan bias.
No, I think he can, but I think TJ Watt's a better defensive player and has had a better season up to now. TJ Watt's been unstoppable. Will Anderson, someone to watch out for. But if you want to really delve into the Defensive Player of the Year, I think this is the year of the cornerback. I think Jalen Johnson in Chicago has a real chance of winning Defensive Player of the Year, as well as some of the other more established corners in the league. You talk about Tariq Woolen in Seattle, who has been locked down to this point. There's just a lot of players that I would put more stock into winning this award than Hutch. I mean, even like Myles Garrett or Micah Parsons going in.
Long shot. He got the game-sealing pick this weekend. I've seen a lot of good stuff from Jesse Bates recently, if I'm being
honest.
That's fair. I think Sauce, though, up there probably also.
Yeah. So, but here's where I think that Sauce, and I don't think he's a bad corner by any stretch. I think he's one of the best in the league. I think refs are going to start to flag him a little bit more than they have in the past. With he egregiously pass interferes at times, and they don't.
But so does Surtain.
And have I said a thing about Pat Surtain?
No, but I'm just saying that it's multiple cornerbacks which is happening with.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's
like this past weekend.
But Surtain is starting to get flagged, and I think Sauce is also going to start to get
you
flagged.
You just got to get better at hiding it, I guess. So
yeah, but my take, if I have a hot take based off this week, and tell me if this is an overreaction or not, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to not only not win that division, I think they are going to miss the playoffs now.
Can you tell us who you have? Wait, first, can you tell us who's winning the division instead?
So
I want to hear who's winning instead.
So who's winning the division instead? I think Dallas are winning the division instead. Now, as to who's going to be in those wild card spots, I have a reason to believe that not only all 4 NFC North teams have a chance at getting that. I will admit defeat on the Saints. TikTok
comments. Matter of fact, shout out our TikTok. We just started TikTok.
Before you talk about the Saints, tell me what's tell me what's
perfect time to shout out the TikTok. Yeah. Yo, okay. Perfect time to shout out the TikTok too. Just started a TikTok page, Across the River _podcast. My same pick, got some love on there. Finally, people seeing that I know ball.
Gans, they went 2-0.
Gans. So you know ball. You had that take right. So walk us through what's going right with the Saints and why this is happening.
They're just
give us a really in-depth measure.
Okay, I got you. Of course, they're playing as a cohesive team. Derek Carr is proving everyone wrong. Although he, in his career, has not been the best QB with winning games, he's been hitting his targets. Kamara has been amazing. The defense has done their job. They legit killed the Cowboys. With the Panther game, okay, yeah, pushover game.
But get into specifics with coaching.
I think just
with
the way
what's working.
Derek Carr is the offense.
All right.
I think he's done an amazing job. Even you guys were saying that he's not that good of a QB, and I think he's proved a lot of people wrong, showing that he can do what he has to do to lead his team to a victory.
So what I see with New Orleans and what's different is not only does Derek Carr look night and day, he looks phenomenal up to this point. And I will hold my hands up and say, shoot me in the face, because I was completely wrong about the way that he was going to go. But the offensive line, the blocking, there's no pressure. The run blocking, Kamara had a 60-yard touchdown not touched. The offensive line has been immense for them this season. But most importantly, they finally got rid of Pete Carmichael in the offensive coordinator room, and they brought in one of those San Fran guys, Clint Kubiak, who, for all that is said about the shiftiness and the finesse of a San Francisco-based Shanahan tree coordinator, this team is powerful. This team is like really up your gut football with
San Fran could have used him, to be honest.
Kamara looks fantastic. The guards and the linemen look really good. And then they're not even using Chris Olave. Yeah. And they're winning these games in a hand. They've scored a touchdown or a field goal. They've scored offensively on every drive this year. There's no stopping them. I think we'll get into it, but I think they're going to go in and they're going to beat Philadelphia this week.
Oh, I like that. I think that also the 49ers, I think also someone we need to give credit to is Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. He has looked amazing this year. And then Caleb Williams.
All right, so Jacob, before we get into our little Caleb Williams debate, I want to hear your take on the Giants, because they scored 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
they had a better offensive game against the Commanders. They just couldn't figure out the way to win the game. They stopped the Commanders in the red zone a bunch. By all intents and purposes, they should have won this game. They let them drive.
You put the punter at kicker there for one of the plays.
I mean, the thing for me with the first thing is Gano. He shows up on the injury report Saturday. He kicks a 60-yard field goal in warmups, and they think, okay, you're good to go. Goes into the game and pulls his groin on the first play, on the opening kickoff, which was returned for a touchdown, but thank God there was a hold. Would I have gone with the punter at the kicker first on that first extra point? Yes, just to test him out to see what it looks like. But the Giants did play better. They got a lot better. But for me, I'm not blaming this game on the offense. This offensive line has been probably the best offensive line I've seen in a couple of years, if I'm being quite honest. They made great upgrades to that with Illuminora, Runyon, etc. It's the defense that's not cutting it for me, because on that third down, on these 3rd and longs, you need to be able to get off the field. And that's what was the Giants' Achilles heel this past weekend. So 3rd and 10 plus is
what you put it on the coaches.
I wouldn't put it on the coaches, honestly.
My question to you, though, is you were bending, you weren't breaking. You didn't give up a touchdown. Yeah. But where does it stand as to you think you need to get more turnovers? You need to create more pressure, put them in bigger problems so that they're not getting 7 field goals.
QB spy potentially.
I mean,
this isn't Madden. This isn't Madden.
No, but I'm even saying though, Daniels was really.
Yeah, the Giants were getting to him. The Giants got to him.
But he was still getting through them. I'm saying him.
Yeah, I'm saying they got 5 sacks on Daniels.
I'm saying I know. Yeah,
that's good for them.
But how do you think he can, like, is there stuff you think they can improve on?
For sure. I mean, let's see, with the sacks, it was mostly Jason Pinnock had two, Drew Phillips had one. It wasn't those top seven. It wasn't the front seven that when, like you
Mhm.
mentioned the Giants defense, you don't think of McFadden, you don't think of Pinnock, you don't think of Phillips. You think of Okereke. Thibodeau didn't get one. Brian Burns didn't get
Thibodeau's
one.
been
He
put on the
did.
back of a milk carton this year.
Yeah.
He's been completely invisible.
Yeah, same for
Yeah.
I could say the same for Burns in these first two games. Burns
Yeah.
did get a sack, but it got called for a penalty, so it was a race off the board. When those two guys get ready or get adjusted, excuse me, and they get in that backfield a lot, that's when this Giants defense is going to fully come together and become the Giants defense that the fans and the league thought they would be.
All right.
That's fine.
So the Giants 0-2, the Jets 1-1, Miami 1-1. We've talked about Miami. The Jets had an
Okay.
interesting, I wouldn't say a convincing, but an interesting.
Let me just give a thank you to Will Levis for, I don't even know how you want to describe that play.
Yeah.
Just like
Throwing
the ball backwards.
yeah.
I don't know.
One other thing, it
was.
was unfortunate.
shout
that
out
we
to
didn't-
you.
Yeah, we didn't get the mail call this week, unfortunately.
We
That
did
is
not get the
true.
mail call.
But I mean,
But-
he didn't deserve the mail call, to be honest, after he did that play.
I'd like, Gans, you to touch a little bit on how you feel about Aaron Rodgers right now, because I feel like his name has not been mentioned in NFL circles a lot. He's returning from an Achilles injury that knocked him out for the whole season, and you would want him to be a little bit more noteworthy.
I still think he's coming back. First 2 games back. You do see some sparks here and there. But then there are also points where it's like, okay, like he's clearly rusty. So he needs to make some improvements. I see them going with the checkdowns a lot. It's worked with Allen, but not Brees as much. So I think they should work on that with Brees. And I think there's still some points where he can improve on, but it's definitely better than having no Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So
fair point.
So Aaron Rodgers right now to you is just a status quo quarterback. He's someone who's going to come in and play the game pretty mistake free, but he's not wowing anyone.
I don't think he's going to wow anyone until like week 6 into the season, give or take. I think he still needs more time to adjust.
For me, the interesting question is he had the rehabilitation process where he was rejecting modern science, doing it his own way. And he was supposed to be back last year with the way that everyone was talking about it. He was supposed to be back if the Jets had a chance. At the end of last year, the Jets fell off. They didn't have a chance. Why is there still rust if he's been healthy the whole offseason?
Well, first of all, played against probably one of the best defenses in the league in the first week with the Niners. So
San Francisco's defense is not as strong as the offense.
I mean, he's playing against Nick Bosa though, and
but Nick Bosa's one player.
Good too.
Yeah, he can't be the.
Their whole defense looked really solid. Okay,
their defense looked okay,
but still, Aaron Rodgers hasn't played like. Hasn't played a full game of football, like full speed and full motion, like all that, in how long? So it's stuff like that.
So it's reasonable that there's a little rust for the first drive, but it's 2 games. It's 2 games in now. So
I mean, you can make the same argument though for other QBs who have looked.
I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just saying that for Rodgers, it is true too. So
I think he'll bounce back though. I think he will.
Well, all right. That's yet to be seen. It's been a long time, but that's where I'm saying it's been a long time since he's played football at a high level. And even the last season he had in Green Bay, he wasn't the same Rodgers as he was before that. So I'm just trying to gauge where you are. Are you nervous about Rodgers? No.
I'm not nervous. I think the Jets will win the division.
That last season, can we blame it on that he didn't have Devontae? Can we say that?
I don't think so.
I would say that the Jets are winning the division.
All right, so the Jets are winning the division. So that's a good segue into where we stand with Buffalo. And I know we talked about the Dolphins because that obviously happened, but Buffalo have now blown out the Dolphins, who had a healthy team for the majority of the game. They fell apart at the end. They had a comeback win against Arizona, but have they really looked that convincing? I don't know.
I feel like it's the Bills. I guess I can say like the Bills are always going to be one of those teams where it's either potential turnovers or they're behind. They start off behind late and have to climb their way back. But that's a team that's going to always find a way, and I think they'll be fine. No matter, I think they'll be fine for the rest of the season, even though they're falling behind early in games.
So My question was more geared towards, though, how much do you take these wins into stock? Because as far as I remember, I didn't have them doing that well this year.
Me neither.
Jacob, you didn't have them doing that well. You had them 5-12.
Okay, I
So
think
that was ridiculous. First of all,
I mean, I
okay.
had the Bills.
it,
at
could still
at the
happen.
top
It
of
could
the
still happen
division.
though. It could still happen. I think their
it's
defense
not
has
gonna
really
happen.
their defense has just been superb, to be honest.
Exactly.
gave-
Especially
now you're
against the
just
Dolphins.
basically now you're
But they
saying that
gave
your
up
prediction was
20.
wrong.
But they gave up
Okay,
28
sometimes
points
predictions
against
are wrong.
Arizona in the first half.
Okay, they did, yes. But then look how they bounced back against the Dolphins before, of course, the Tua injury.
Yeah, they had a good game.
They made him look like he didn't know
Yeah.
what he was doing out there.
Yeah, it was
Now,
a very
another
very
team
good defensive game.
that made someone look like they were like struggling. Caleb Williams, I don't know.
You don't know. I mean, it's early, so
I mean, yeah.
it's so early. You can't really make a judgment
Like
on
that
his.
last play in the game,
But what are you trying to say though?
I just don't think he's gonna be as good as people made him out to be.
So if you want to say he's not good
whenever
right
there's
now,
so much pressure, that's always going to be the case.
no, but I disagree with that. Whatever you want to say about how he's played right now, he's been bad in the first 2 games. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. He hasn't had a good start to the year, but you put him in a situation where he's standing behind a solid enough offensive line, but a wide receiver core that everyone was hyping to. Everyone loved this group. Keenan Allen wasn't on the field last game. DJ Moore hasn't been able to create separation past 10 yards in probably a good amount of time now.
But he also hasn't used Cole Kmet much, and to be honest, which I think he should.
But that's a play calling thing. That's not really a decision that's his specifically. An audible can be an audible, but Williams has had trouble processing quickly, which was everyone knew that was going to be the biggest problem right away, was how he was going to process an NFL defense. And the Texans made him really struggle because he got pressured every time he stepped back. But Caleb Williams, if nothing else, has shown to us that he has the athleticism to deal with that. And while time passes, he will be able to learn how to process the defense. It took Lamar Jackson some time. It took Patrick Mahomes some time. It took Josh Allen 2.5 years. He will do it.
That's fair. I just think that I don't know. I think there's potential that he's not the best QB from this draft class.
I think that's
Didn't we see this with
ridiculous,
Fields?
Though.
Didn't we see this with Fields at the start of his career with Chicago?
But maybe just the Bears are the issue, though, and maybe once he.
But it's a different coaching staff, though. It's a different coaching staff than what had Fields for the first season. Fields was stuck with Nagy in the first season.
That's fair. I think he can. I think it will just take him time.
Yeah,
and someone who's had time but hasn't produced though, Bryce Young getting benched.
Yeah, Bryce Young. It was the right thing to do for the Panthers and for Bryce Young's career, because you're sticking him in a situation where he really has no growing room. He can't do anything because the offensive line is so god awful. The wide receivers aren't getting open. They have no running. There's nothing there for him. Yeah, so you're by sitting him and letting him learn behind Andy Dalton for a little. I think they should have done this last year. You're giving him a little bit of breathing room. You're giving the team time to adjust, get a good pick in this year's draft that they don't have to give to Chicago. And then that's that.
I got a couple questions about this though. So if after he sits behind Dalton comes back, let's see how I'm trying to word this. If he sits behind Dalton and doesn't get better, do we see the Panthers potentially shopping him in the offseason?
No,
yes.
I don't think so.
I think so. And I think I can think of a team that could potentially need him too.
Today,
I know where you're going to go.
Today, Canala said that they're not shopping him. He is the long term answer.
But didn't
Carolina,
they also say that he wasn't getting bent? That they were sticking with him as the starter, and then they benched him the next day.
Well, that's a decision that comes in at the moment. That sticking with him as a starter is a day-to-day thing. It wasn't like a.
But still,
I mean, sure, whatever. Your point saying you don't take Canales' word into consideration.
Exactly,
That's fair, especially because of how Tepper is. But I don't think that Carolina is going to move on from Bryce Young at least anytime soon, unless Dalton gets hurt. He comes back in and again just has nothing to show. But I think he's going to sit behind Dalton for probably the remainder of the season, and that will, I think, shape him up for the next year.
I think depending on what happens with certain QBs, I think other teams could be potentially be trying to make trades for him. But that all depends on
right now.
So there's nothing I could say on it much. And to be honest,
Yeah, I know what team you're gonna say.
No, I'm not even. But how about me winning in the prediction game? 7-3-3.
Wait, so but before let's clear this up. What is our format? Because I wasn't on the
Okay,
first.
you get a win. Or you get a
Yep.
point if you got a win on a game that was disagreed on. So say two people picked one side and someone picked the other side. If you win in that game, you get a point.
Okay.
What? So do
So
the two
as
people
long
that
as
all?
it's wait, so as long as it's
We're
not
not
a
just doing it
sweep,
for
you
every
get a
game.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All right.
as long as it's not unanimous.
if
All
all
right,
of us
as long-
pick the
all
same
right.
team, no points are given.
All right, got it. Okay, so
So
let's get it. Let's get into the predictions.
start
Congratulations,
off with
Gans. You
tomorrow
have a
night
week 2 trophy. But
and week 1.
okay,
Last time I
congrats.
checked, this is 18 weeks long.
You're making me want to put your Ohio
I'm gonna
State
still
jersey
win.
on really fast. But let's talk
I'm
about the
still gonna
Jets.
win.
Let's talk about the
Hopefully.
Jets Patriots jersey. I'm gonna make you wear that Ohio State jersey at a
It's
very
a shirt,
inconvenient
first of
time.
all, and I'm
All
not
right,
wearing it
shirt.
that 1 week. I'm
Hey,
not.
listen, I have complete jurisdiction to make you wear it whenever
I
I
will
want to.
not. I will not come on the
You're-
podcast for that 1 week.
That's your decision, but you're gonna have to wear it the
I
next
will-
week anyway. If you
Okay,
don't come
fine.
on the podcast,
Okay, fine. I'll wear it after Michigan whoops them. Deal.
you know what?
Cool.
You know
Run
what?
it.
You know, matter of fact, that's what's gonna happen. If you're gonna
When
wear your
Michigan whoops
Ohio,
them.
no, you're gonna wear your Ohio
Sir.
State shirt. You're gonna wear your Ohio
Not
State
mine.
shirt.
Not mine. My brother's.
You're gonna wear
All right,
the.
all right.
Let's just get this out of the way. You're going to wear the Ohio State shirt the week that they play Ohio State. You have the decision
Ooh.
whether or not you want to come on the podcast. If you
But
don't want to
wait.
come on the podcast, that's your call. But you have to wear it the next week.
The
That is
whole
the decision
episode.
I'm
Wait,
making.
I have to wear it
The
the
whole
episode.
Bro, you're
The
not
whole
changing.
episode.
the frick.
That's what happened. Yeah. The whole episode. So if you want to come on the show, you can come on the show. If not, you don't have to. But you're going to wear it the next week if you don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk with the people that are closest to me and my agents
Yeah.
about that decision. To be honest, and we're gonna have to
All right,
come
well,
to a decision as a group.
Let's get into this week of NFL football where we've got Jets Patriots Thursday night, tomorrow night. This is a pretty
Give me the
interesting game.
Jets.
Give them the
Take
Jets.
Take me the Jets.
Jacob?
Yes.
Yeah, I got to agree with this one. I feel like the Pats are going to keep it close, but I feel like the Jets in their home opener, fans are going to be loud. MetLife at prime time always looks great. Give me the Jets.
Let's make this game mean something, boys. Let's go Patriots. I've got them going
Hey,
into
you got the
MetLife.
last Thursday one right, so
I've got them going into MetLife and stomping on the Jets' hopes and dreams like they pretty much always do. Let's go to the
also,
other.
wait, first, I want to say about last week. I took the Rams over the Cardinal. I mean, the Cardinals over the Rams. Sorry.
All right, we'll get to that. We'll get to
And a
we'll get
certain
to those.
someone
Okay.
said I didn't know ball, but looks like the Cardinals ended up winning.
All right. We're not at either
Congratulations,
of
the
those
whole
teams.
Rams team
JJ
got hurt.
Sags. I'm saying JJ Sags.
All right, congratulations, the whole Rams team got
Giants,
hurt.
Browns.
Let's talk Giants Browns. I'll
Give me the
start this
Browns.
one off. I'm going to go with Cleveland. The Giants have not been able to figure out much less complex defenses. They're not going to be able to handle Miles
Yeah,
Garrett.
no. And is Gano even playing? Do we have word on that?
No, he's on IR.
Oh yeah, y'all are cooked then.
Who's your
kicker?
replacement?
So big fat Randy is coming back. Greg Joseph.
Oh, I love
Greg
Randy
Joseph
Bullock.
was
I
also
love
signed.
Bullock,
Hold up,
though.
Greg Joseph was also signed. I believe Zane Gonzalez to the practice squad also. So they got some options there.
Oh, I love Randy Bullock though.
But
But I'm
personally, give me big fat Randy as my kicker.
taking the Browns.
All right,
Next
boys. I
game.
guess back-to-back games got some meaning because I'm not picking the Giants. Give me the Browns.
Yeah, now that this
I'm,
game
I'm,
is.
I'm not doing it. I'm not.
We
All
got former competitors, no, former teammates competing for the starting job to now opposing players both starting, unless Jordan Love plays, which is possible. But Packers, Titans.
Is this the Malik Willis revenge game?
It's
I
the
think it is.
Malik Willis Bowl. Yeah, give me the Packers.
I'm taking
not
the Packers.
Yeah.
Willis or not. The Titans have not moved me. They
2-15.
They fluked themselves into a couple of touchdowns last weekend. I don't see it happening again. I've got the Packers.
The Packers surprised me last week with Willis at QB over the Colts. I mean, I also could just say AR looked terrible, but I like the Willis era in Green Bay didn't look that bad last week. I'll take the Packers.
I'm gonna take the Packers too.
All right. Let's
Bears,
talk
Colts.
Bears Colts.
I already know my pick. I'll start it off.
Nah,
I'm taking the Colts. AR looked horrible last week. There's no way he's gonna let that slide. Gonna bounce back this week. And I just think that the Colts team overall is better than the Bears, although the Bears have the better record. When looking at it, the Colts have played the better opponents, and I think they have the better team overall.
All right.
Let's make this mean something. Let me go with the Bears. I think they're gonna get this game. It has to work out. It has to work out in the next couple of weeks. They have a very good roster. The Colts just flailed against a pretty weak Green Bay team without their starting quarterback. So I'm gonna go with Chicago.
All right. I mean, I guess either way, no matter what team I pick, this is gonna be a meaningful game for our picks. But I just think it's gonna be the Colts this week over the Bears.
All right. I love being against the grain.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can get the solo point right there.
Yeah. All right.
Next game, Texans Vikings. Actually, be a great game.
Yeah.
Now this could have been the Stroud versus McCarthy game.
It could have.
Potential to be it.
Darnold better.
I'm taking Darnold.
Obviously.
We're balling.
Yeah, no, I'm going with Houston though. CJ Stroud's the second best quarterback in football. They are very strong defensively, like we've seen in the last couple of weeks, and they're not looking to slow down. They have two receivers that are top 10 in the league. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I love that. I love that bold statement right there about Stroud. But yeah, I'm agree with you. I'm going with the Texans, obviously.
Do we go with the Vikings? If this was JJ McCarthy playing, I'd take the Vikings. But since it's not, I'm gonna take the Texans.
This was JJ McCarthy playing. I'm smacking $15,000 on the Texans, baby.
I could think that, but
I would
You would've
if
lost.
McCarthy was playing, I would smack the over.
So we already know
running back.
Dylan's pick for this next game. He said he's taking the Saints over the Eagles.
Yep.
I will also be taking the Saints over the
All
Eagles.
All right.
Jacob,
I guess I'll make this a meaningful game. I'm gonna take the Eagles, even though
Let's
I hate
do that.
Even though I hate the Eagles with all my heart.
Chargers, Steelers?
That one particular player on the Eagles sold me my fantasy week last week, so I'm hoping he bounces back. But besides that, that was so fun to watch at the end.
Chargers, Steelers.
Oh,
Is
the
Harbaugh
Steelers.
gonna get it?
one's
Is
an
the
easy
Harbaugh
pick for
gonna?
me.
Okay,
This
I'm
one's
taking
an
it.
easy pick.
Jacob, who you
Give
taking?
me the Steelers.
Yeah, give me the Steelers.
No, give me the Chargers. Harbaugh's getting his revenge on Justin Fields. telling you.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. But
Runs deep, yes, bro.
yeah.
Fields, bro. All right, let's just not talk about those games in college. But Harbaugh's going to win. The Chargers have also looked really good, to be honest.
They've looked good against the Raiders.
I'm not going to
and the
go into
Panthers.
it, but
Let's
I'm not going to go into it, but you love bringing up the past three, and I want to just shut down those games.
The next game, we're all picking the Bucks. Just
yeah,
sweep
that's
them.
my
Okay.
lock of the week. I have no thoughts.
Panthers,
on that.
Raiders. Give me the
This
Panthers.
This
Give him the
Panthers.
Panthers. Okay.
this also
I
could be
actually
a
like
lock.
that.
I'm going the Raiders.
I
Let's
actually
go.
like that. So I'm gonna go with
Ginger
the Raiders.
Jesus.
I am
Andy
gonna
Dalton leading them to
Yeah.
the promised land.
So I am going to go with the Raiders, but there is some unexplainable science about a team with a backup quarterback stepping in and just winning
Let's go,
for no
Andy.
reason. But I will go with the Raiders anyway because
Hey,
Let's
sh-
go,
shout,
Andy.
shout out our fellow Ginger, Matt Welling. But
Give
I
me
don't-
Andy Dalton and
I don't
company.
I don't see the Ginger QB winning this week.
Give me Andy Dalton and company. Dolphins, Seahawks. Dylan, let's go to you first for this one.
this is an unwinnable game. You have a backup quarterback who should be a third string quarterback playing behind an injured offensive
happened
line
to-
with
but what
a
happened to
defense that isn't
backups?
that good.
But what happened to backups?
But it's different when you're benching a
that's
quarterback
crazy.
from when an elite quarterback gets hurt.
That's true.
So I'm going Seattle by a pretty handed margin. I can't in good
Same here.
conscience pick Miami here.
Yeah, I'm going Seattle.
I'll be taking Seattle also. Ravens, Cowboys. Gosh.
Can we say game of the week for this week?
No, this game is going to suck. Both of these teams have been terrible this year, and the Cowboys got away with blowing out Deshaun Weinstein in week 1.
Weinstein is crazy.
I just don't think they're good. I just don't think that the Cowboys, I think they're going to win the division, but it's going to be a weak division win. They're going to flail like they always do. The Ravens have looked terrible. The offensive line is terrible. This game is going to be low scoring, boring, not even good defense. Give me the Ravens. I'm done ranting, but
I'm
these
taking the
teams
Cowboys.
are going nowhere.
Bro, this is
Actually-
bro. No way, Tom Brady game could be boring.
Wait, never mind. I'm taking the Ravens. I forgot.
Bring
CD.
back Greg.
CD didn't practice today. Taking the Ravens.
What does that have to do with anything?
Cowboys are nothing without CD,
If
fam.
CD Lamb doesn't play, the Cowboys aren't getting
Yeah.
anything done.
Niners, Rams.
Wow, okay.
Oh, my fault,
No,
Jacob. No, you say
he's
first.
going.
You
He's
say.
going. He's
Cool,
going.
Let me let you
cool,
cook, Jacob. Let me let you cook, Jacob.
Cool. Shoot, I don't even know who to pick. Honestly, it's a pretty good game, but both these teams have been struggling so far. But
I think you know who to take.
Cowboys are good at home all the time. The Ravens are the Ravens. I don't know who to pick. You know what? Just because I don't know who to pick, I'm gonna just go with the team I hope that wins. I'm gonna go with the Ravens because I don't like Dallas. That's my only
Alright.
reason.
Niners versus Rams. I'm gonna take the Niners, and I think because Brock Purdy, he's only played 3 NFL seasons, and he's already had a higher passer rating than Matthew Stafford has had any time in his career with his 113 rating last season. Stafford's highest was 106 back in 2019. So I'm gonna be giving that one to Purdy and company.
This is the injury bowl. I'm going with the Niners because they're less injured and they have the better team in general. But this is a Rams team that's going to really struggle to win games without Puka or Cup for the next 4 weeks. Give me the Niners by a pretty considerable margin.
Yeah, I guess I'm out to third on that because without Puka and Cup, the Rams are not the Rams. I'll be honest. Even though they're still a strong team, they're not without those two guys. They're not the Rams. I'm gonna take the Niners.
Lions, Rams. I mean, sorry, Lions, Cardinals. Sorry.
Lions.
It's gonna be a great game, to be honest.
Lions, yeah.
I'm not sold on the Cardinals hype yet. I'm going Lions.
I'm gonna
Hey,
take the
shout
Lions.
out tomorrow. Shout out tomorrow for 2 touchdowns.
No. Marv caught 4 passes, all of which were.
that don't count, bro.
No, it does count. Obviously, it does
Whoa,
count.
we're just gonna take away from the 2 touchdowns from
it does count. It does count. He had a
Mickey
good
Mouse
game, but I
touchdowns.
don't. No,
All
it's not.
right,
That's
all
okay.
right, all
So
right.
this is like one of those things where you're arguing for something, and then the person agrees with you, and you're like, "No, don't agree with me." But but I'm good
That's crazy.
anyway. I'm going Lions.
I'm taking the Lions also. No. Marv in the state of Michigan usually loses. Bring it over the next
They're
game.
legit home. They're legit home. But
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
in
Well,
Arizona.
playing against Michigan teams anyways struggles. So
Yeah, you sold there, buddy. But
Chiefs, Falcons. I just
Give me
have
the
to be on
Chiefs.
Sunday night, bro. I don't
Give
want
me
to
the
see
Chiefs.
Taylor Swift on Sunday night.
what do you mean? I like Taylor Swift.
Over under 10.5.
That's a joke, by the
Camera
way. I don't.
shots. Over under 10.5.
Under.
Camera
They've been pretty
shots
good.
of
They've been
Taylor-
pretty good
of Taylor
about it. I'm
Swift.
going Chiefs.
But it's not Sunday night though, and also Kelsey's
they've
been
been-
bad.
Yeah, they've been pretty good about it. Under.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs, and I'm gonna take the over. I think Kelsey's gonna go crazy this week.
All right.
Jacob,
I'm gonna take the Chiefs also.
and over under.
Even though the Falcons shocked the world last week on Monday, being the Eagles in Philly. I don't know what it is. It's just the Chiefs have that mojo. I'm not gonna say NFL is scripted, but after Sunday, controversial ending, I'm just gonna take the Chiefs.
Okay, swinging it over to Monday. Jags, Bills.
Bills. Jags look terrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Jags just to spice things up.
Okay, this is where you lose. But
All right, fine. We'll see
Yeah.
when the Panthers win. Also, last game of the week: Commanders, Bengals.
Bengals.
Bengals, yeah.
Do it. I dare you. I dare you, Mr. Ohio State shirt. I
I'll
dare
make it.
you.
Wait, yo, if I get this right, how about I don't? if I get
No,
both- yo, if I get both right-
This
Yo,
dude
okay,
is so
fine.
I don't
Let's
even.
cut off-
I don't even care what you're gonna say. No, pick the
if I
team
get
you
both
think's
those
gonna
right,
win.
let's cut off the Ohio State shirt thing.
No.
But if I get that both, okay, fine. You were getting another shot. I was gonna say, if I got them both wrong, I'd wear it twice. But too late.
I
You
don't
already
care.
passed.
Yeah, I don't care. I just want to see you wearing it once. The picture's gonna last a year. But
Who's the better LSU QB?
What do you mean the picture's gonna last a year, bro? That's gonna be my camera roll for my lifetime.
I'm gonna take the Bengals.
All right, let's do it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll get to you with Instagram and TikTok posts. We're Across the River podcast on both. I'm Dylan Shalom here with Ben Gans and Jacob Kaplan signing
go
off
Panthers.
for today. Sure.
Gaines is gonna have to wear that
let-
OSU shirt no matter what.
You know it. What's the punishment this year before we leave?
Honestly, no
Actually,
matter
we'll
what the
just-
score should be, Gans should just have to wear the Ohio State shirt a second
No,
time.
but we'll discuss that when we have to discuss that. But
Yeah.
see y'all for today.
Peace. Yo, let it end on me saying go Panthers.
I
Hello?
haven't stopped the recording yet.